Welcome to another Going Beyond the Scale. If this is the first time you're joining me, 5 days ago, when we had 12 days left in the month of January, I decided that I would do a morning post and just kind of open up a conversation about ways to keep this month going forward if you're doing well, where whatever you wanted to do when the month started. A lot of people had a lot of New Year's resolutions. A lot of people wanted to really start to move forward in making a much more impactful year than last year. Last year was a very tough year for most of us, very squirrely year. Things seem to be getting better. It's still going to be a while before whatever the new normal is. So that was 5 days ago. Today is day 7. We have 7 more days till the beginning of a new month, which actually this February starts on a Monday for all you people that love to start on things on Monday. So each day, I've been exploring a different kind of a thought to have, something to ponder, to look at. And if you don't know about going beyond the scale is really about living and creating a life that you love and doing it by living life well as well. And yesterday I was at Barnes & Noble. I love Barnes & Noble. And I was in there, and it really, what I'm going to share with you was sparked from something that I bought while I was at Barnes & Noble. And it was something I've been talking about doing, something I've been wanting to do for quite some time. That might be one of the things that you have faced as well. You know, there's something that you keep thinking you're going to do, and this year you're going to do it. And what came out of it was what I would like you to think about in this conversation is, what do you really want? And what are you really willing to do or get to actually make that happen? And I think that's one of the things that really is important. Is we can have a lot of ideas, but you really need to get to the place where, like, what are you really going to do? What kind of actions you're going to take? So last Friday, Yasmin Cheyenne, who is a well-being influencer, was on the Today Show. And she had mentioned that journaling in 2021 is going to be a really big trend. I mean, journaling's not a new thing. It's been around for quite a while. But apparently, maybe because of the last year, people doing a lot of reflection, apparently more and more people are journaling now and are going to continue to journal. So I've done journaling. Most of my journaling is done with my Smartphone Fit account that I do, which is my Smartphone Fit J account, where I kind of track my eating and my exercise and my thinking that I've been doing for almost 10 years now, which has helped me with my well-being. But what's interesting about journaling, for the most part, is when people journal, it tends to be what they were doing, and it's kind of capturing what's in the past. When I was at Barnes & Noble yesterday, I saw something, this neat little journal, world map journal book, that I was like, oh, you know what? I've been talking about, I really miss traveling. I really want to start traveling again. I miss it. This past year, I haven't traveled at all. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to pick this up. This will be great. This will inspire me to start to do some journaling. And what happened was, my brother-in-law, Rick, and I have been working together for the past, 6+ months. And Rick is kind of my beta tester for a book I'm working on called Make an Ask of Yourself. Yes, make an ask of yourself. And what that really is that it's about not so much asking for things from other people, but first making an ask of yourself to really get down to the root of what you want and what you want to do. And then maybe reaching out to other people that you can connect with them, collaborate with them. And in that asking and involving them in what you're up to, maybe some things will kind of come to you. It's kind of like a karma thing. So I had a conversation with Rick last night. I'd normally do my coaching conversation with him on a Monday afternoon, evening. And when I was having the conversation with Rick and I brought up this journal that I bought, I said, for me, Rick, I want to do more travel. And I picked up this journal and I decided, instead of having a book about what I did traveling, I decided to have a book and a little journal where I would start to kind of have some fun and explore and travel before I started to travel, like start to take the pages and mark down what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go. And then put in URLs, whatever. Yes, I could do a vision board. Yes, I could put it in a digital format, but there's something really interesting, something cool when you viscerally sit down and you start to write things down versus just do everything digital. And I love doing things digital. But this morning I started with a couple of different pages. And the first one I put in here really was inspired by Carl Richardson Whiteley, who I told you guys about with the book Gorge. I really want to summit Mount Kilimanjaro. So I opened a page, I put a few pages in here, gave myself some blank space, and I started researching it this morning. And it was so cool because I felt like I was already on the trip. And the other place I want to be able to go to is Machu Picchu. I've made a page for that. I started working with that. So what I want you to kind of consider, if you're journaling, that's great. But I also want you to kind of consider, why don't you look at buying yourself a journal for what I would call one thing, not to capture everything, but if there's something you've been wanting to do, get yourself a journal where you're actually writing down, capturing, making notes, maybe doing little drawings, maybe tearing out little pieces of things, and start to build that so that you're building for your future. You're building for a future event. Don't just use a journal to capture where you traveled. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't take this and then write down things from the trip that I went on. It could be kind of cool to do that, to kind of complete the circle. But I think that journaling has two places: capturing the past, which is kind of cool to remember. And I think journaling for the future, if I had to say a trend I'd like to be able to move forward on, it's really that. And so that's what I would like you to think about today. What is one thing that you've been saying that you want to do? Yes, it could be your well-being. Yes, it could be that you want to be fitter or whatever that thing is. Maybe it's a new career move. Maybe it's a book you wanted to write. I don't know what it is, but consider getting something that you just take one thing and you start to work with it and create from it and start to build from it, besides just capturing what happened in the past. Because I will tell you, even in the short amount of time that I did that this morning, it was very exciting. And it's sort of like I started searching for something. And then when I searched for it, then I thought, oh, what about this? And what about that? And then I started thinking about, well, okay, I want to go to Mount Kilimanjaro. I want to summit Mount Kilimanjaro. That's cool. And then I want to go to Machu Picchu. I've always talked about that, but I need to start to understand more of that. Where could I go and how would I do that? And then I've been to New Zealand. On Biggest Loser, I went to New Zealand, and I've talked to Kim about, like, I want her to go with me someday to New Zealand. But it's been a conversation, and I've taken no action. And a lot of things in my life, maybe you've been the same way. I've talked about a lot of stuff, or you've talked about a lot of stuff. I'm getting tongue tied and get so excited here. But you haven't done anything with it. So it's just a simple idea, but trust me, I will tell you that simple thing of having it and starting it and then keeping it close by, even in a short amount of time, I can't get over how uplifting it feels. And that's really what I want to have accomplishing for myself and for others in the whole world of going beyond the scale. I would really want all of us to be constantly creating lives that we love. It's never going to be perfect, but creating lives that we love, enjoying more of our days, enjoying more of our time with the people that we love in our life. And also at the same time, living life well. What was really cool in there, I've also found some interesting things in there. There are people like Cara that are larger people, as Cara will call herself that do some amazing adventure travel. So once again, this is not about having a perfect life, but it's actually living life and doing something no matter where you are, instead of waiting for some day in the future. Because you know what? That waiting doesn't work for many people, and a lot of regret happens. So I hope I live for a very long time. But what I can tell you is every single day I am committed to enjoying as much of my day as I can and get as much of it out of as I can, and also sharing that with everybody else, which is why if you've been following anything I've been doing for the past while, I'm all about helping people create the life that they love and to live it well. So my call to action to everybody here, you guys see me do this a lot of times, is my hashtag, which is tag you're it. I would love you to just find something that you really want to do and find that one thing that you want to do. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And look, even my tag, you're it, is missing an E. And that's what I love about doing these things, because this is not about perfection. And for all you people out there that are waiting to get things right and perfect everything, and you screwed up or whatever, let go of that, because life's not perfect. Well, look, magically, karma, an E has appeared. So thank you for being here for day 7. Tomorrow's day 6. We're going to go through 6 days before we hit the beginning of February. And I want to, as always, thank you guys for your generosity of time, for being here, commenting, sharing, expanding the Going Beyond the Scale community, because that's what we want to do. We want to have more and more people connect, support each other, creating lives that they love, living them well. So until tomorrow, have an incredible day, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow morning. And